bringing out the bots. Home improvement retailer Lowe's rolling out Knightscope robots at locations in Philadelphia. This according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. So as we take a look at that, we're seeing retailers are already facing pressure to cut down on both labor and theft by turning to robot security in hopes of solving both. But will robots be enough to turn the tide? Here with more is William Santana, Knightscope chairman and CEO. Thank you for joining me this morning, William. So talk about this plan to really disrupt this $500 billion security industry.
Well, greetings from Silicon Valley. Thanks for having us. It's an exciting time to be developing brand new cutting edge technologies and taking all the crazy stuff that Hollywood have been streaming out and actually putting it in the real world. So Knightscope, we build autonomous security robots, as you mentioned, and these are intended to not only deter negative behavior, but just physically being there, you can stop a lot of nonsense from happening, but to give officers and guards really smart eyes, ears, and their voice on the ground in multiple locations at the same time. And the math problem the country has is basically there's about 2.5 million law enforcement officers and security guards. They're running 24/7. So at any given time, there's only maybe 600,000 plus humans trying to secure 334 million Americans across 50 states with the technological equivalent of a number 2 pencil and a notepad. And that is the injustice that we're working to fix, to give those brave women and men in uniform new tools so they can do their jobs much, much more effectively.
So, William, obviously this will end up being a deterrent if you do see it there, assuming you know actually what it is. Will there be some sort of postage around so that people know that that's what this is that would actually deter them and be more of a security provider there?
Yes, that actually is right on point. One of our clients who just renewed for the 6th year did exactly that. If you put security or police on the side of it, it might greet you. It might make a sound. It's 5 foot tall, 400 pounds. It's roaming around on its own, fully autonomous, level 5, hands off, not remote control. The strobe light's going. You have no idea what it does. You're probably going to think about maybe stealing the car down the street and not there. And that's literally what we've been seeing with our clients. If you go to knightscope.com/crime, you can see the long, long list of positive things these machines have already done for society.
So I want to ask about why you're starting with Lowe's in terms of sort of having it in this big retail space, and why Philadelphia? Why was that the test ground for this?
Oh, it's not the test ground. We've been operating now since 2015. We've done more than 2 million hours across the country in full operation. Our clients are anyone from not just Lowe's, but ABM, a big facilities management firm that's publicly traded. We also announced PG&E doubled their order later last year to better secure the national grid. Our clients are also, commercial real estate, corporate campuses, law enforcement agencies, residential, parking structures, schools, basically anywhere you might see an officer indoors or outdoors or a guard, typically outdoors, is certainly an opportunity for Knightscope, and as well as numerous casinos and hospitals.
So who do you see as your biggest competitors in this space?
We're certainly first mover advantage. We're have scaled across the country, operating across multiple time zones. I think we have an opportunity to work together instead of looking at competition. Our long-term, slightly outrageous goal is to see if we can make the U.S. the safest country in the world. And we applaud anyone and everyone that's working to do that. And not just the humans, but all the technology companies that have been working behind the scenes to improve AI, more compute capability, folks in the marketplace, security integrators, guarding companies. It's going to take a whole lot to turn around the negative $2 trillion impact of crime and terrorism on the U.S. every single year. It's a hidden tax we all pay in blood, tears, and treasure, and it has to stop.
Now, I do want to ask you, because people might be wondering, what sort of data are these robots collecting, or are they sort of just assessing risk? What sort of data is being collected, and where does it go? How is it being used?
Well, since we work for Big Brother and, the robots are coming to kill everyone and take everyone's job, no, just kidding. The data is owned by our clients. That's anything security related. And anything, let's say, machine related or health of the machine is owned by Knightscope. And contractually, that makes it pretty clear where the data resides. And it's intended solely to be used for public safety, and it's not to be resold and used in any other manner other than at times improving our algorithms.
And in terms of what we see with retail theft, obviously shoplifting, huge. We saw it picking up during the pandemic. How much of a dent do you think these sorts of robots could make in that space?
It used to be, I think, shrink, stuff leaving the building. Either the patron took it or the employees took it. I don't know. I think it was like 1 to 3% of revenue, not profit, of revenue. I think now some of the clients we've been speaking to is 4, 5, 6, 8% of revenue, literally walking out the door. And I think a combination of software, hardware, and humans, again, to give the officers and guards new, what we call superhuman capabilities at their fingertips, will make a huge impact on not just on shrink, but you have to think about the patrons, the customers coming in, wanting to feel safe. And I don't believe the founders of our country ever expected us to build a society where going to school, going to work, or going shopping literally came with the risk of being shot or killed. And that's why we're so passionate about making a big difference here and trying to get both the public and the private sector to work together to reimagine public safety.
Certainly has been a while since we reimagined public safety. So an interesting space here indeed. William Santana Lee, Knightscope Chairman and CEO, thank you for your time this morning.